All right, we're here to do a sales pitch.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All
I'm
right.
ready, John.
So today, sales pitch is also part of the story, and it's about reciprocity.
Mhm.
And reciprocity can be leveraged anywhere you want in your life. And it doesn't mean you're always going to get the meeting that you want. It doesn't mean that you're going to get what you think you want out of it. It just means that this is such an easy way to enter into a conversation with people on building that relationship up front. So I'll start with real estate agents because that's what our industry knows. But then I want to show all of you how it doesn't matter the industry. I can jump into any industry right now. And Tommy, you'll see it here live.
Sure.
And we leverage reciprocity any way to get the meetings that we're looking to get. So most people, for example, call real estate agents, and when they cold call agents, I've heard it 1,000 times. Cup of coffee. Hey, I'm a local lender in your area. I'd love to get a cup of coffee with you. I have a bunch of new products, and I really think you're going to like them. Does that call sound familiar?
Yeah, I've heard that a dozen times. And
How many times have you seen people post in our Facebook group about it?
yeah.
How many?
It's the same thing. I don't too high a number.
Now, before I go into reciprocity, what does that word mean to you? Just out of curiosity.
It's a big word.
That's not where I thought you were going.
No, it's a big word. And I was going to Google it, but I did not.
You're good. Yeah. So reciprocity is, you doing something for somebody else and you don't really expect something in return, but that other person kind of feels sometimes like, okay, maybe I should do something. All right. So
that is something I do. That is something I do for
you
sure.
do a great job of it, right? And you do it subconsciously. It's like people like to return favors to one another. They really do. Most people don't ever want to feel like they owe somebody a favor. So real estate agents, right? Same thing. You go into the call. That's how the cold call starts. I can't tell you how many times I've heard it. I practiced it. So imagine instead you go into the call with reciprocity, and you go into the call and you say, hey, Tommy, my name's Jonathan Haddad. I am a lender, and I know you get blown up with calls. I'm not here to step on any toes. I'm just curious. Over the last 5 years, did you know that you've lost 5 clients who used you the first time around, but ended up using a different real estate agent for their second transaction? Did you know that by chance?
I didn't. Why? Who?
So I'd love to give you this information for completely free. Do you remember the house on 123 Main Street that you closed June of 2023? The client's last name was Mrs. Smith.
Of course I do. I go to church with Mrs. Smith.
Okay, believe it or not, they sold their house and just bought a new one and closed last month.
I did not know that.
So that's what I've been doing. I've been calling real estate agents and showing them these opportunities just to help keep them in front of them. And we're doing this at no charge to the agents. We do want to make sure we're partnering and working with the right people, but I'd love to show you access to this. Can you verify your email for me?
Sure. It's Tom. Yeah.
Do you see the difference in the way that call was, right? And what that is I'm giving you something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm you and saying, hey, you don't even meet with me. Just here. Did you know this? And some people might say, well, John, what if they just say no? Well, if they just say no, does that sound like an open-minded realtor to begin with?
No. Why would? No.
And that's exactly it. So if they say no, I already know that this is going to be just a.
Oh, it's a waste of time.
It is for the most part, not all the time.
Sure.
Free. But if I call somebody and they're like, oh, I already know that. Oh, yeah, I have that. Oh, yeah, I have that. Okay, you have everything. You have everything, but for some reason, you're not the number one producer in the country right now. All right, great. But you have everything. Like, that's how I feel about it. But that's reciprocity just from a real estate side. So when you're making that call, you have a minute and a half, if that, to make an impact that you need to make. How do you do that? Immediately have to go into it. Tell them who you are, and then boom. You just jump right in. So super simple. And then the other piece of it, and I don't want to give them away, each week we're going to go through a different sales tip.
Yeah.
But the other piece of it now, okay, you do that, you get the meeting. Now, once you get the meeting, I think the biggest area that people make mistakes is they don't manage expectations up front. So let me give you an example.
Wait, quick question. You didn't ask them for a meeting. You said you weren't asking them for a meeting.
No. After once you build it, let's just say you get the
Okay, got it.
correct. I'm not doing that up front. Up front, I'm sending them that email. Hey, here's what it looks like,
And then a natural conversation can flow. And
correct. That's a different. I'm saying after that, you get the meeting. Here's another area. So reciprocity is how it starts. So reciprocity is the first thing you need to do. By the way, this is like any room you enter. This is any networking event. This is anywhere you can do this.
FUs.
That's step one. From there, you build the relationship. Let's say you get the meeting now after a few conversations, whatever it is. Now, when you get the meeting, where people drop the ball is they beat around the bush. So here's what most people do. Thank you for taking this meeting. I want to show you some of the stuff. Stop and just be honest with them. Hey, Tommy, listen, I know we've talked a few times. I know you sent you that list. I know we've been talking, and I can't thank you enough for this meeting, but I want to just make sure we're on the same page. So to address the elephant in the room, Tommy, understand that my end goal is absolutely to earn your business. Okay. But here's the biggest difference with me versus everybody else. Number one, I'm going to tell you that I'm here to earn your business like I just did. And number two, I use the word earn, and I don't take that word lightly. I know how good your other lenders are, and I don't want to step on their toes, but I want to show you how I can earn the right to work with you. So before we start the meeting, I just want to make sure, are those two things fair?
Yeah. No, that is, I think, the appropriate way to lead it off. And I agree with you completely, because it's very straightforward. It's very honest. It's very not, and I'm not sure how much this is industry specific, but it's kind of taboo, right? And I'm against this taboo, but it's taboo to talk money with peers. And I'm so against that. I push against it every day. And I think it should be more discussed and it should be more talked about, because there's a lot of things that people should just know that they don't. And they're thinking they're doing the right thing, but they're not. And being upfront and honest like that, it's like we were talking about before, like between me earning your trust and you earning my trust. And it's the same thing. It's the same tactic. It's the same give and take.
I love that you grab that, because
Surround yourself with people that can make you better.
And it's that simple. And it's like when you tell them it like that, it's a whole different conversation, and they understand it. I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm not saying you should feel like you should send me. I'm simply saying, here's my expectations. Here's where I'd like to be. Let's set the tone up front. You already know what I'm looking for long term. Let me just express it, but let me also show you why I believe I can earn it.
Yeah. Like, let me be on your team. I don't want to take over, but let me be the designated hitter. Let me be there on the team and then show you what I can do.
It is, man. And and here's what's crazy, right? That all starts with reciprocity up front. So you might be saying, okay, how do you take this into any field that you want? How do you do this into anything that you want to do? Okay. Do we have gamers out there in the world, right? You're a gamer, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're a gamer. Gaming my whole life. When you're gaming with a team and you're doing a raid or you're playing whatever it is you're playing, there is a level of trust that you have to have amongst each other if you want to be really good and great at what you do. You're constantly doing things from a reciprocity standpoint, because you got to help the team out. You got to do something for someone else and they do something for you. The best teams are the ones that understand that. And you get from a gaming standpoint, for those of you out there that have kids and you watch them game, the kids that are just worried about their own stats, their teams never win, ever. You see them complain online all the time. Oh, no, I had 30 kills, but our team still lost. There was no reciprocity.
No.
They're not playing as a unit, as a team. I can do it with gaming.
Yeah.
You want to be an attorney. You want to work for a top law office. How do you get into that office? What do you do? I sent them my resume. You got to go deeper than that. What do they love? What do they like? What can you do for them? How can you show them your work ethic?
Yeah.
My business partner, his daughter, okay, won't go into too many details, but his daughter's playing volleyball right now. She's crushing it. She's doing amazing. She actually was she worked so hard to get to the position she's in, to make the team. She had a long journey to be here. understanding defeat and going back and coming back for more and doing all this. Now she's embodied in the team. And what did she do the other day? The other day, she does a Google form. She loves to braid hair. So she sent it to the girls and their moms. And she said, hey, have your daughters fill out this Google form with the way they want their hair braided. What do you think that did for her in terms of the love and support she got from her team? You think that made it go up or down?
Up,
Up.
for sure.
And now that extra support, you feel it. And when you're in that space, that's confidence. When the people around you trust you, there's confidence in what you're doing. So reciprocity goes very deep. So when you're entering a conversation with the real estate agent, what do you have from a reciprocity standpoint that you can give? When you go to a networking event, what do you have from a reciprocity that you know you can give? People don't think about it. There's a process to sales, and it starts with reciprocity. So that is my sales tip for you. That is what I wanted to talk to you about today. Implement it into your business, regardless of the business that you are in. If you're a real estate agent and you're calling consumers and you're cold calling, what sets you apart? Hey, I'd love to list your house. Well, so would everybody else. Hey, I think I'd be a great fit. Well, that's what everybody else says. Hey, can we get lunch? You and the rest of the world.
I have lunch booked through the rest of the year.
That's it. You know it's happening. So stop, get out of it, and figure out what you can do to provide value. But John, I don't know. Well, like, what if I spend money and I don't make money? Tough luck. That's what this is. That's what happens sometimes. You got to be willing to put that step forward first, especially if you're the one that wants the meeting. The agents aren't calling you. They're not calling you. You're calling them. It drives me up the wall, team. It drives me up the wall.
Yeah.
John, I've built packets for them. I've gone to open houses and I give it to the agents. I co-market myself. They don't even know. I'm like, hey, this is for this house specifically. I put down a list. It's a first-time home buyer packet. I co-branded it with you on the back. You can do what you want with these. These are 10 copies. I'd love for you to put them out there, but I totally understand if you can't. I've never had one person tell me no. They've been, oh my God, thank you for doing this. And they just put it down for me. You know how many relationships I've built from that?
Tell me.
An absurd amount. Matter of fact, actually, that we're here, I want to share this text with you that I got from one of my agents that she sent me, and she's in Nevada. She's in Nevada. I'm in Michigan. She won't ever go to another person, ever. And I just want to read this text from you the other day. I've been working with her for quite some time. I know you're enjoying Orlando, but I really wanted to tell you I appreciate you so much. Thanks for always having my back and doing what you can for me. I can't thank you enough for helping me out, and I value our personal and work relationships so much. Thank you for helping me grow as an individual and in my business. You've taught me so much, and I continue to learn consistently from you. Even though I'm on the other side of the country, thanks for connecting me with your amazing team. I wouldn't be where I am without you guys, and I really mean that. Enjoy your time. Tell your wife I said hi. She's in Vegas. How many people out there can say their agent send them texts like that?
Yeah. And you know what really stuck out to me? The difference between, and I've noticed it a lot in just the difference of a response. Instead of a thank you, you get a I appreciate you. The difference between a thank you and I appreciate you is huge. Like you hand someone off something, right? And they're like, thanks, or like, thank you. And you're like, cool, you're welcome. But when you get a I appreciate you, that's
Never thought of that before.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, those texts make it worth it, right?
It's
not that it's not the only thing that makes it worth
no, it, but they do keep you going, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it keeps you going. It keeps you inspired. It's like I'm making real impacts. And it starts with how you initiate that conversation up front. And that's why I hate the negative connotation that sales has got over the last 5 to 7 years, where you've heard me say it 100 times. I'll say it 100 times more. Matilda's dad, right? People are in the Matilda's dad, where he's the sleazy car salesman and he's putting duct tape on the bumper. No, Great salespeople are high-level communicators, and what it turns into is to powerful relationships. That's really what happens. Because if you're somebody that's dialed in constantly, you have the ability to make connections for so many other people.
Yeah.
That's what I'm known for. That's why people enjoy working with me. I'm a connector. So it's a really big deal. So between Tommy and I, my kids are losing it outside of my door, and his cat, I was just informed, is losing it outside of his door. So it's been quite a field day over here.
Oh yeah, just fielding the farm.
They're looking for reciprocity right now.
They are. They're like, hey, what have you done for me lately? You fed me 20 minutes ago. But
Yeah.
what have you done? But all right. Well, I think that was a good sales pitch.